Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time it is for you. I appreciate you listening. My name is Jen. Welcome to episode 2 of this podcast. And I'm really happy that you're tuning in and, to listen to me blab and talk about some fun stuff today. This is episode 2 of season 2. I could say, season 1 was basically me repurposing my YouTube videos or some videos that I had into short snippets. So welcome to season 2, where Jen actually speaks live, coming to you live. Well, not so live, but taped for you. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about today, tonight, this morning, wherever you're listening from, whatever time it is for you. This is something that is been on my mind recently, and I see it going around, and I've talked about it in some videos and stuff like that, but it's something that I find really important and annoying at the same time, and it's this, this high that human beings get off of making other people feel bad and doing it in a subconscious way, a very subtle way where they may not even notice that they're doing it. You see this a lot in, I'm involved a lot in the spiritual community. I have a lot of friends in the spiritual community. I guess I could call myself spiritual. I don't know. I'm not religious by any means. But I guess I am more spiritual, and spirituality is not religion. It's not the same thing. It's basically what spirituality is. It's tapping into yourself and who you are as a person and getting to know yourself and being more in alignment to you. Usually people are scared off by the word spiritual. I was too. I still am a little bit. So I don't like to use it. But for the benefits of this podcast, I'm going to talk about the spiritual community and what I see. And this isn't just this specific community. This goes for everywhere out there, where people get a high off of making other people feel bad about themselves. And like I said, this often may not be a conscious thing. It may be subconscious. It may just be something that comes out through the ego, but it's something that should be discussed and talked about, because I think it's an important issue. I think it's something that we need to be aware of, not only in ourselves, but when it's happening around us. So what led me to discuss this topic is lately, there's a lot of talk about the ascension, a new earth of new vibrations going on the planet, and how we've been, we have a lot of polarity going on where, it's kind of like good versus evil, dark forces versus good forces. And everybody basically has an opinion. And, you go on social media and you see that, everybody has an opinion. Everybody pretty much takes sides. And, in my opinion, it's not about taking sides. It's about just living in your own truth and not anybody else's truth, and not choosing to fit into some sort of label or box, which I see often. And there's this notion, or it's kind of like this movement, or you could call it even a virus going on right now. I'll call it the love and light virus. And I know that sounds pretty, it doesn't make sense, right? How could love and light be a virus, right? But I'm talking from the sense of like the spiritual ego. And what I mean by that is people who are living in their love and their light, and they're all about keeping their vibration high and positive vibes and good vibes and ascending and, being part of this new earth per se. It causes them to be a little condescending to people who have no clue what new earth is, what spirituality, what love and light even means, what high vibration means. And people have an ego about it where they judge other people for being uneducated on the matter. Now, you may not be involved in a spiritual community. You may not grow up religious or as part of any kind of spirituality. You may, everybody comes into their own at different times in their life. So there's not one way. And, the way we think in society, we always think that, okay, hey, I'm 22 years old, I should, be married and have kids and, be in a stable career. And we always think that we need to be settled, or we need to be in certain boxes by certain ages, and it's on our timeline. So there is no difference happening here when something like a spiritual ego comes out, or just an ego in general that is condescending to other people who may not be as woke. I hate using that word, but woke, or enlightened. I don't like to use that word either, because I don't feel like anybody is enlightened, at least not anybody who I know who claims they are. Because for one thing, enlightened people probably wouldn't be on social media boasting about their enlightenment and love and light and all that stuff. No, they would be out doing more, I don't know, conscious things. I don't know, but that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong in that aspect. But what I mean here is that, it's this notion of making others feel bad who are not high vibe, or who are feeling fear. Fear is the big word here. It's the scary 4-letter word that oftentimes people in certain communities are anti-fear. Like, you are a clone, you're a sheep, you're scared because you're wearing a mask today. You're scared because you actually believe that there's a virus going around in the world. That makes you a sheep. That makes you a clone. That makes you dumb. That makes you fearful. That makes you less than me, because I am God and I am Buddha and I'm all these things. That's basically what you're saying. Okay? There's no judgment here. There should be no judgment here. Everybody comes into their life, comes into their own. Everybody experiences their reality in different ways. So who's to say that your reality is better than my reality, or Joe Schmo next door? Nothing. Just your head or your ego. Now, you may claim that you know more because you're in touch with your higher self, you're in touch with aliens, you're in touch with spiritual beings and energy and stuff like that. But that is your own truth, and truth is only your perception, because as long as you're in a human body and have a human brain, then this is my opinion, then you are human. You're not anything, you're not superhuman. You're not an alien. You are human. Now, maybe you are a starseed, or maybe you are from another galaxy, but you're still human. You're still human. You're still in human form, or at least that's what you identify as. So as long as you're identifying as a human, you're human, because that's your reality. That's your perception of it. So I don't mean to be condescending. I don't mean to be judgmental here. I just think it's a virus in society to constantly make people feel bad about feeling human emotion. Fear being one of them. To me, there's nothing wrong with being afraid. There's nothing wrong with being scared. And okay, maybe you don't believe that there's a virus. Maybe you don't believe in, I don't know, certain political leaders actually want good for the country. Maybe you don't believe in certain things that other people believe. But that doesn't give you the right to claim that somebody is less than because they don't share your same opinion, your same views. Okay? Because maybe that person has views and they see you in the opposite light. You know what I mean? So reality is just what we project it to be. Nobody really knows beyond this world. You can claim that you do. There's a lot of psychics out there, but how do you really know that that is truth? Do you really know that that is the ultimate truth? Okay, I'll use an example. The space of variations, it's a term used by Vadim Zeland in the book Reality Transurfing. And it's almost like the matrix or quantum field or all these things kind of have the same name, but they're basically referring to all possibilities everywhere and how things already exist, but they're just not in our physical reality yet. And we basically have to get on the same page with them, the same vibration with them, get into alignment, believe we have them in our lives, and they will come into our world. So, if you believe something hardcore, then that is your truth. That is your reality. That's what's going to come into your reality. But that may not be what somebody else is experiencing. See what I mean? And I don't think it's okay to make people feel bad for feeling human emotion. We're supposed to feel human emotion because we're human. You got to have negative with the positive. It's the only way to have balance in life. You can't just have one or the other. I talk about this a lot. You can't just live in a high vibration 24/7. Or at least I don't know how to, or I know a lot of people don't know how to. I mean, you're going to cry when something's sad. If a lion is coming to attack you, you're probably going to be afraid. If somebody's pointing a gun at your head, you may feel a little afraid. I don't know. That's just me. So I don't want to be in a world where people feel bad about being themselves and being authentic and feeling actual emotion and feeling afraid. If you want to feel afraid, it's okay. I don't want to condescend or be condescending to anybody for feeling that. The worst thing you can do is try to cover it up and try to fake that you're happy when you're not. The worst thing you can do is try to fake that you're confident when you're not. Sure, there's some psychological benefit to changing, shifting your mindset and pretending to a certain degree. It'll make you feel more confident, striking like a power pose or something like that. Or, when you're scared of public speaking, picturing something in your mind, and that's going to make it easier for you. But at the end of the day, as a human being, we're going to feel insecure sometimes. We're going to feel low sometimes. So, it's not my place to judge anybody on that. It's the same reason why you become angry at those types of people. You become angry that they're so fearful. You become angry that they haven't woken up. You become angry that they're just a sheep or a clone. You become angry that people are wearing masks. You become angry that people wear their seatbelts. You become angry that people drive on the right side of the road. You become angry that people follow rules. You become angry that people don't shoot each other up. You become angry that people that people get along. You see what I'm saying here? Maybe you don't, maybe you do. I don't know. But anyway, I'm not going to make this too long today. Just something I wanted to bring up. And look, if you're scared right now, it's okay. Be scared. I mean, there's something about watching the news all the time as well. Of course, it's going to, instill fear in you. I don't recommend that. I don't recommend, embracing or surrounding yourselves with things to make you fearful. But I also don't think it's a bad thing to feel afraid. It's instinctual that we're going to be. We want to survive, right? We want to survive at the end of the day. So anyway, thanks for listening. I appreciate you so much. I hope this was helpful. If not, I don't know, but I appreciate you listening to the end. It means a lot to me. It really does. My new book is out, 12-Step Guide for the Self-Help Book Addict. It's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, eBay, I don't know, whatever other book retailers are out there. You can find it on my website, www.jenpalko.com, or at all those places that I mentioned. You could just Google search it, 12-Step Guide for the Self-Help Book Addict by Jen Palko, and it'll pop up. So it's, I talk a lot about this kind of stuff in there. And self-acceptance, self-love, because I think it's something that we just repeat over and over and over again. It comes out in different ways, subtle ways, subconscious ways, or ways that we don't even realize. I mean, there's the obvious of just like putting people down directly, but then there's more passive ways of doing it. And that's what I just spoke about. At the end of the day, it's still making people feel bad about themselves. And we don't want to do that. That's not going to ascend the planet. That's not going to lift everybody up. It's okay to educate, but it's not okay to, I wanted to find a cool word, because that would have been a good saying. Well, there's nothing wrong with educating, but we don't want to, I was going to say eradicate, but I don't know if that's the right word. We don't want to get angry. Let me put it that way. We don't want to get angry. So anyway, thanks for listening. I do have a YouTube channel, so you can check that out. YouTube, it's in the link is in my bio here, but it's under Jen Palko. Check out my book, check out my website, jenpalko.com. And thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. So have a good one.